Welcome back to the Still Mind channel. Try to imagine a world without the iPhone. A world where music doesn't fit in your pocket. A world where computers are still dull. Gray boxes. Devoid of elegance. That world might have been our reality, if not for the arrival of a man in a black turtleneck. Blue jeans. Who embodied a timeless philosophy, think different. When we talk about the people who truly changed the world in the 20th and 21st centuries, it's impossible to overlook Steve Jobs, the co-founder, the savior, and the soul of Apple. He didn't just give us technological products that reshaped how we communicate, work, and play. More importantly, he left behind a legacy of thinking, a philosophy of life that has earned the admiration of the entire world. Steve Jobs' life was a dramatic epic. Born in the US in 1955, he was an adopted child, a college dropout after just one semester. He tasted bitter failure, even being ruthlessly fired from the very company he poured his blood, sweat, and tears into building. But then, he returned, resurrecting an Apple on the brink of bankruptcy and transforming it into the most innovative and valuable corporation on the planet. What makes Steve Jobs so great isn't just found in microchips or retina displays. It lies in his indomitable spirit, his courage to be different, to drive change, and to live with a burning passion. Today, on our journey, we won't just recite 10 of Steve Jobs' immortal quotes. Together, we will decode, contemplate, and uncover the profound lessons hidden within each word, teachings with the power to inspire generations to come. Quote 1. Stay hungry. Stay foolish. This line is from his legendary commencement speech at Stanford University in 2005. It was originally the farewell message on the back cover of The Whole Earth Catalog, a Bible for his generation. Stay hungry isn't just about a hunger for material things. It's a hunger for knowledge, for experience, for creating value. It's the fire that pushes you to never be satisfied with the present. A hungry person is always learning, always exploring, always asking, is there something better? Is there another way? And the second half is a true philosophical gut punch. Stay foolish. Why foolish? Because wisdom and overcalculation can sometimes be the biggest barriers to creativity. The foolishness here is the courage to start something that everyone else thinks is crazy. It's the beginner's mindset, unbound by prejudice, unafraid of mistakes, and unbothered by ridicule. It was this foolishness that allowed two young men, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, to believe they could build a personal computer in a rickety garage and change the world. The lesson here? Never let complacency extinguish your ambition. And never let the fear of judgment kill your curiosity and audacity. Quote 2. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. This is another piece of advice from the Stanford speech, spoken when he was already facing a death sentence from cancer. More than anyone, he understood the value of every single moment. We live in a society filled with pressure from the expectations of family, friends, and social norms. We're taught to follow the safe, pre-paved paths. Steve Jobs called this dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. This quote is a powerful call for freedom and independent thought. Listen to your inner voice. Your heart and intuition, somehow, already know what you truly want to become. Don't chase a job you hate just because it seems stable. Don't give up your passion for art just because someone said, there's no future in art. This life is yours. This stage is yours. Don't act out a role written by someone else. Quote 3. Creativity is just connecting things. This is one of the most profound and practical definitions of creativity. Many people think creativity means making something entirely new out of thin air. But Steve Jobs believed that great ideas often come from connecting experiences and knowledge that seem completely unrelated. And he was the living proof. After dropping out of college, he dropped in on a calligraphy class. At the time, learning how to draw beautiful letters seemed completely useless for a tech enthusiast. But 10 years later, while designing the first Macintosh computer, all that calligraphy knowledge came flooding back. The Mac became the first computer with beautiful typography, with multiple typefaces and proportional fonts. If he hadn't connected the dot of his calligraphy experience with the dot of technology, the world of computer graphics might not be what it is today. The lesson for us: live a rich life. Learn a musical instrument. Travel to a foreign land. Read a book outside your field. Because you never know when those dots of experience will connect and create a breakthrough idea in the future. Quote 4. Quality is more important than quantity. One home run is much better than 2 doubles. This philosophy is deeply embedded in every Apple product. While competitors released dozens of models each year, Apple focused on just a few key products. But each one of those was polished to the smallest detail. Jobs was obsessed with quality. He believed that doing one thing truly excellently, creating one product that could change an entire industry, a home run, was far more valuable than making dozens of mediocre things that were just good enough. This applies to life as well. Instead of spreading your energy across 10 half-hearted goals, focus all your dedication on achieving 1 or 2 of the most important ones with excellence. Instead of having 100 superficial acquaintances, cultivate a few truly deep friendships. Quality, not quantity, is what makes a difference and delivers lasting value. Quote 5. Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Before the iPhone, the world was used to phones with physical keyboards. Creating an all-touchscreen phone was an extremely risky move. But Steve Jobs dared to do it. That is innovation. For him, innovation wasn't an option, it was a requirement to be a leader. A follower simply copies, making slight improvements on what already exists. A leader, however, forges an entirely new path, redefining the entire playing field. The iPod redefined the music industry. The iPhone redefined the phone industry. And the App Store redefined the software industry. This quote is a reminder that in any field, if you want to be a pioneer, you can't follow the beaten path. You must dare to ask questions, challenge the status quo, and have the courage to create things the world doesn't even know it needs yet. Quote 6. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Many people look for a job just for a high salary, for status, or for stability. But Steve Jobs believed those factors are never enough to create greatness. To create their groundbreaking products, the Apple team had to work with an insane intensity, facing immense pressure and Jobs' relentless demand for perfection. The only thing that could get them through it all was their love and absolute belief in the products they were creating. They didn't see it as a job, they saw it as a mission. Passion is an endless source of fuel. It helps you get through sleepless nights, failures, and criticism. If you haven't found the work you love, Jobs' advice was, keep looking, don't settle, because only when you truly love what you do will you have the perseverance and energy to turn it from good to great. Quote 7. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. This quote is the perfect companion to don't live someone else's life. If that one advises us on the major path to choose, this one is the compass for our daily decisions. When you have a new idea, there will always be noise around you. That can't be done. It's too risky. People will laugh at you. When the iPhone was launched, experts criticized it for not having a physical keyboard, claiming it would be a miserable failure. When the iPad was launched, people called it a useless, oversized iPhone. If Steve Jobs had listened to that noise, we probably wouldn't have these products. He had an ironclad faith in his inner voice, in his vision and intuition. He trusted his own path more than the opinion of the crowd. This is a priceless lesson in self-confidence and conviction. Learn to listen selectively, trust your instincts, and don't let the doubt of others extinguish your vision. Quote 8. The dots will connect looking backwards. We are often terrified of failure. But for Steve Jobs, failure wasn't the end, it was a necessary detour. And no failure in his life was greater than being fired from Apple in 1985. It was a public humiliation, a devastating fall. But years later, he looked back and called it the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Why? Because that shock freed him from the weight of success. He was free to be a beginner again. During his time in exile, he founded two companies, Next and Pixar. Next developed the operating system that would later become the heart of Mac OS X when Apple acquired the company. And Pixar, needless to say, revolutionized the animated film industry. The failure of being fired from Apple was the very stepping stone that allowed him to create even greater technologies and achievements. It teaches us that within every mistake, every stumble, lies a lesson, an opportunity to be reborn stronger. Don't fear failure, fear not learning from it. Quote 9. I think if you do something and it turns out pretty good, then you should go do something else wonderful. Resting on your laurels is the enemy of greatness. Steve Jobs understood this better than anyone. After the roaring success of the iMac, he didn't stop. He moved on to the iPod. After the iPod dominated the world, he didn't stop. He started the iPhone project, a product he knew would cannibalize his own beloved creation. The iPod. This is the mindset of a true innovator, always moving forward. Yesterday's success doesn't guarantee tomorrow's. The world is always changing. And if you stand still, you get left behind. This quote encourages a spirit of constant motion, of perpetual creation. When you reach a peak, enjoy the moment, but then quickly set your sights on the next mountain. Because the journey of creating value is a marathon, not a sprint. Quote 10. Live each day as if it was your last. Once again, his near-death experience gave Jobs a profound perspective on life. He said that every morning, he would look in the mirror and ask himself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer was no, for too many days in a row, he knew he needed to change something. This isn't advice to live recklessly. It's a tool for mental clarity, to identify what is truly important. Thinking about death helps us strip away all the trivial fears, the expectations of others, the pride. It leaves only what is essential, your family, your love, your passion, and the legacy you want to leave behind. To live as if today is your last day is to live fully, with purpose, and without regret. And those are 10 quotes. 10 timeless lessons from Steve Jobs, the man who changed the world not just with technology, but with his unshakable belief in the power of passion, creativity, and the uniqueness of every individual. His legacy isn't just in the iPhones we hold in our hands. It's in the way we dared to dream big, to pursue crazy ideas, and to live true to ourselves. He left us with one final, ever-echoing message: stay hungry, stay foolish, and be brave enough to put your own dent in the universe. If you found this video inspiring, and if you believe in the power of thinking different, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next journeys. In our next video, we will meet another great figure, a man who also had a dream that changed a nation. We'll explore the life of Martin Luther King Jr., the great American civil rights leader, who voiced a dream of equality and stirred the conscience of all humanity. Thank you for listening. I'll see you on the next journey.